Hello, I'm Deborah Stevens, Chief Justice of the Washington State Supreme Court. It has now been several months since our court started modifying court operations to better serve the public during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, I want to update you on some of the new processes and provide some examples of the tremendous work being done to keep our courts accessible and safe during the pandemic. First, it is important to know that Washington courts have remained open and operating throughout the pandemic and will continue to remain so. Some court activities, such as jury trials, had to be paused for a time while courts adopted new measures to protect jurors and litigants, but courts have continued providing critical services using the safest methods available to them. Many proceedings are taking place by remote means, and I could not be more impressed with how much work our courts, large and small, have been able to do. As just a few examples, Des Moines Municipal Court, a relatively small court, has conducted more than 1,400 virtual hearings since launching remote hearings in May. Spokane County Superior Court has conducted over 3,200 remote proceedings and finalized more than 6,000 cases since March. Clark County District Court and Yakima County Superior Court have each conducted more than 10,000 proceedings, primarily by telephone or video. Seattle Municipal Court has completed more than 12,000 proceedings, many using email and online communications. These figures underscore the immense amount of work being done in courts across Washington, using video, telephonic, and online modes and procedures. At the same time, we know that some hearings must be held in person. Courts have modified their facilities and instituted social distance proceedings to protect everyone's health and safety. We understand that many people may not have access to digital technology at home. Courts have put in place no-cost options to address the digital divide. Many courts, for instance, Clallam County District Court, have set up stations where customers can use laptops to access their court's remote proceedings. Others have offered prepaid phones and extra cellular minutes, and still others have set up remote drop boxes to accept paper filings. Our commitment is that everyone who needs access to our courts will be served. Jury trials are the cornerstone of our justice system, and courts across Washington are beginning to resume jury trials. These trials look quite different from what you may have experienced before the pandemic. In place are strict social distancing procedures, such as assembling potential jurors in larger spaces for selection, or using video jury selection processes. Jury pools in Snohomish County, for instance, are assembling in an empty elementary school, while those in Lewis County, Clark County, and other counties are assembling at the county fairgrounds. In King County, jury selection is taking place on the Zoom platform. During trials, jurors are seated throughout the courtrooms rather than together in the jury box. Many courts are beginning to conduct hybrid trials using both remote and in-person steps. To safely resume in-person court proceedings, we have in place detailed safety guidelines developed in consultation with the Washington State Department of Health. Courts have also been working with their local health officials as they redesign the jury process for their specific locations. Transparency of court proceedings is also a critical requirement, and courts are providing public access to hearings by live video, audio, and other methods. Some courts, like the Mason County District Court, which recently held its first jury trial following a pause, allowed the public to view the proceedings live on the Zoom platform. While live streaming is one option, it's important to note that courts are sensitive to protecting personal safety and private information that by law is not part of the public process. Attorneys and clients are able to meet and message privately, for instance by using chat or breakout room features in remote platforms. And documents with private information are not presented on video. In addition, some remote hearings are not live streamed over the internet when the court concludes public access is inappropriate or that proceedings can be broadcast by closed-circuit TV in public courtrooms. Guidelines and tips for maintaining public court proceedings during the pandemic were developed for our courts by the Washington State Bench Bar Press Committee. And the Administrative Office of the Courts has also created a statewide virtual court directory that provides links for viewing remote hearings. New links are being added regularly. And you can find that virtual court directory and much more information on court operations during the pandemic at our website, www.courts.wa.gov. I want to thank the judges and all court staff who are doing amazing work to adapt as quickly as possible to the limitations imposed by the pandemic. This has been a huge undertaking, keeping on top of public health requirements, overseeing the installation of new safety equipment, balancing budget issues, learning new remote technology, and crafting innovative novel procedures, all while finding ways to continue critical court services and make sure everyone gets their day in court. I think we all appreciate that the pandemic-related challenges facing courts are not going away anytime soon. We are facing significant case backlogs, budget cuts, and the struggle to find technology solutions to ensure equal access to justice. To help courts meet these challenges and prepare for new challenges we have not yet encountered, the Board for Judicial Administration has established the statewide Court Recovery Task Force. The task force is addressing both short and long-term impacts of the pandemic on the delivery of justice in Washington, and will develop plans and recommendations for addressing those impacts as we move forward. The task force will consider all changes to court operations with a view toward addressing racial inequity and improving access to justice. Though court processes and operating modes have changed in order to protect public health and safety, the commitment of judges and all court staff to providing the best possible justice services has not changed. As we adopt new technology, revamp courthouses, and follow essential public health protocols, the judicial branch will continue to focus on ensuring that the right to open and accessible justice is maintained for all the people of Washington. That is our mission and our promise. Thank you. Take care and stay safe.